Hey guys, this is Hieu with Prolificbreed. I started the channel about 2 months ago and I never really said my name or anything like that. I don't know why that is, but my name is Hieu and to share with you guys tanks 5 and 6. They both house my Flowerhorns, and when I picked up the Flowerhorns, I was going for this guy right here. Me and my kids, we named him Daniel. He's a short body Flowerhorn, but when I picked him up, the seller gave me this guy for free. He was only 2 inches at the time, and the seller told me he thinks he was a female. We named him Katie, but I tried breeding these 2 males together 3 times, and every single time I put them together, they fought each other. They locked jaws and wrestled each other big time. I got Daniel right here when he was about 3 or 4 inches, and Katie when he was about 2 inches long. I'll drop in a picture of when he was a little baby. But yeah, I love these 2 Flowerhorns, even though they're not male and female, they're both males. So at the end of the day, when I'm growing them out, I had to separate them because they were like very aggressive with each other. And typically with Flowerhorns, they are kind of like loners. You have to separate them into their own tanks because they're very aggressive with their own species. But yeah, the Katie, he grew out to be very large, almost the size of the short body Flowerhorn right here, Daniel. They're very interactive, and every time I'm walking into the room, they're looking for me to feed them, and I feed them this food right here, Hikari Cichlid Gold, the floating variety. They love it. Let me drop some pellets in for you guys. You can see Katie right there. I'm gonna, even though he's a male, we're keeping the name Katie because my kids named him that when we thought it was a female. And Daniel is Daniel, short body Flowerhorn. You could see them like kind of interacting with me already, wanting some food. And I usually drop the food in from the back end of the tank because there's a hole right there with the Aqua Clear 50 hang on the back filter. But yeah, they gobble these pellets up real good. Here you go. So Katie right there, she has more of a metallic body, and Daniel has a pastel body. I just did water changes for both tanks, so you're going to see debris kind of circulating around because I have the power head in one of the tanks with Katie, so you're seeing like debris floating around. Katie has metallic patterning on her body, and he has a little hump on the head. With Flowerhorns, people look for the KOK. It's called cock. That's the hump on their forehead, and some of the collectors out there, they're looking for big cocks, but me, I'm just a novice, and I don't really mind that Katie's hump is not that large. It's proportionate to size. I like her patterning and her metallics in her color. With Daniel, he's more of a pastel color. He doesn't have shiny metallics in him, but the line is right there through his body. You can see the flower patterning straight through his tail and up on his horn, up on his KOK. He has a little hump, and I like him because he's a short body Flowerhorn. He's not going to get that huge. I think he's about 6 or 7 inches right now, but I like his fins. It's long and strainy, I guess. But yeah, he's very interactive. I had them for about 5 months now. And yeah, I originally thought Katie was a female, and I tried breeding them 3 times before realizing that I have 2 males with me. See, they're always sparring when they meet eye to eye. But yeah, I love these 2 Flowerhorns just because of their personality and how they're very interactive with me when I'm in the fish room. I think Daniel is more docile. He's not destroying any of the plants like the pothos that I dropped in. You could see the roots by the intake with the hang on the back filter. It's still intact, but with Katie, she's a freaking killer. She destroys anything that's in the tank. So in the top left hand corner, you see a little nub of pothos. She just destroys it. And both tanks has algae in it. I tried to put in plecos to take care of the algae, but Katie killed one of them. She just totally tore it apart. And I tried also putting in snails in there, and she freaking ate the snails. So I can't put anything in the tank besides himself. So he's going to be a loner. So yeah, you see them sparring right there, keeping their aggression up, I guess, or their attention span with each other. So every now and then when they meet eye to eye, they start kind of sparring, and I think that encourages the KOK growth. But yeah, with Daniel here, I think he's more docile. He's not destructive, so you still see the roots there. And I tried dropping in some snails in there too, but he ate them. So crazy. I didn't think they would eat snails, but these 2 Flowerhorns here, they gobble up the snails. Since I have both males, I bought 2 females recently through eBay, and the seller was selling them for only about $10 each and $25 shipping for both. And I plan on breeding Daniel here because short body Flowerhorns are kind of rare, and I don't really see them coming up for sale often. Katie here, I think he's just a typical Flowerhorn. He doesn't have the big KOK or anything like that, but he has a lot of personality. But I might try to breed him too. But yeah, this is tank 5 and 6. My 2 Flowerhorns. I intended to just buy the short body Flowerhorn, but I got Katie for free. And for the 6 months that I had him, he has grown big time in width and height. When I got him, he was only about 2 inches and kind of scrawny, and he was getting beaten up by Daniel. So when the seller gave him to me, I just threw him into his own tank from the start. But I tried putting them together because I thought he was a female. So with Flowerhorns, the females on their top fins, they usually have patterning up there, kind of like the the flower patterning with the black, they usually have it on their fin if it's a female, and the females usually don't get humps on their head. But I didn't find that out until later on. And there's also venting, where you flip the fish upside down and look at their vents underneath. But when I flipped them both upside down, it looked the same to me, so I couldn't tell what's female and what's male with an untrained eye. I couldn't tell at all. But after a while, I figured out that they were both males. I keep it bare bottom because they do poop a lot, and their poop collects up into the corner, and by the weekly water change, I siphon out all the poop. So I water change about 20% of the water every week, and I have to siphon out the poop. And they both have hang on the back filters, so I fill it with pond matrix, and on the top of the filter I have polyfill to floss the water, and I have to remove that polyfill often to remove all of the waste. It just makes it easier versus having canister filters and sponge filters where I have to reach in and kind of squeeze it out and clean it. But this tank is doing very well, and for keeping it as a bare bottom tank. Here's Daniel on the other side. Yeah, they often see each other eye to eye and kind of spar with each other. Keeps their toes up. But yeah, his tank is set up as the same way. It's a Aqua Clear 50 hang on the back with polyfill to filter to floss the water. It just makes it very easy because I could just reach in there and take out the dirty poopy polyfill and just toss it, versus having a canister filter where you have to kind of unplug all of the hoses and take it all apart and kind of risk having a leak. The hang on the back has been working well for me, combined with the pond matrix, and having it as bare bottom, all of the detritus and waste gets all collected on the bottom. If it doesn't get blown into the filter, it gets collected on the bottom, and I siphon it out. These guys are very enjoyable to keep. They have a lot of personality, and I recommend keeping it if you're just looking for one fish, not a community tank or anything like that. These guys are very personable and very rewarding to keep. They interact with you, and they're kind of like a puppy. They look forward to you coming into the room. There they go, sparring again. Keep it like that so they could keep their toes up. But yeah, every time I walk up to the tank, they're like going up to the top, looking for food and kind of interacting with you. Here you go. Let me give it a shot so you guys could see. You see that? They're very interactive with you. Just looking for food. Let me give some more so you guys can see. I love these two Flowerhorns, and with the two females that I bought, I'm waiting for them to grow out so I can breed out more short body Flowerhorns to put out into the market, because I don't feel like there's enough supply out there. It's very hard to find a short body Flowerhorn, and people are looking for short body Flowerhorns because they don't have massive tank space. And with a short body Flowerhorn, you can get away with keeping it in a smaller tank. So wish me luck, guys. I want to breed out Daniel, and I think I got another short body female out of the two that I got. And with Katie here, even though it's a male, I'm gonna keep his name as Katie. But we'll see how large he grows out. I have 220 gallon tanks in the garage, so if he gets too big, I'm going to relocate him into one of those or get a 60 gallon for him. But yeah, right now I'm still growing them out. I don't know how much more Katie would grow out, but it looks like Daniel is kind of stagnant on growth, so he might have tapped out on his potential already, which I don't mind because he's a short body variety. But yeah, I'm hoping that one of the females that I got was a short body. It looks like a short body, so I'm hoping to breed out a whole bunch of short body Flowerhorns for the market very soon. But yeah, check out their patterning side by side. Katie is more light, has more metallics, so outlining the flower patterning is like a metallic flake kind of color. Daniel is more pastel, so he's not that shiny. He doesn't have like a shiny metal look to him at all. It's like a pastel painting kind of patterning. But yeah, check them out. They're sparring with each other. When I thought Katie was a female, when I put her in together with him, they always lock jaws to see who's the dominant fish, I guess. I thought they were just doing a mating dance, but after a while, yeah, it looked like they were trying to kill each other. They would just tire each other out. But luckily, no one was hurt too bad after 3 rounds. I haven't put them together since. I think Katie is more dominant and aggressive. She just kills anything that you put into the tank. But I have put my hands in both tanks. They don't go attacking my hand or anything like that, and they actually let me touch them and their head, so that's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about Flowerhorns? Because when I first saw them in pictures and videos, I thought these guys were very, very ugly, and who would want to keep an ugly fish like this with big old fat chin and forehead like that? That's what I thought at the time. But since I got them, they have become one of my favorite fish. Right after frontoses and guppies, they're one of my favorites right now. And they're in my son's room where I can enjoy and see them every night and every morning. Let me know what you guys think about Flowerhorns. I hope you guys have a great weekend or a great day, and as always, thank you for supporting and commenting on the videos. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.